Hello everyone, KosakChess here, and this game had to happen sooner or later because in round number 7 of Piraeus tournament 2024, I played against my friend, against my roommate, against the guy whom I came with, Milosz Szpar, widely known as a Szparuman on the internet. If if you don't know him, it would be surprising thing, but if there are people who don't know Sparuman, let's get to his channel because he is also doing a great analysis of his games. We played in the round number 7, and before the round, even though we are friends, we both wanted to fight. I had a white pieces, so I think I had a grand conditions to play for a full point. That's why I played the move I play always on this tournament, which is the move e4 and the move e6. So the move I expected the most because Milosz played the French defense 3 times with 3 games where he played black. So French defense wasn't a surprise. D4, d5, and the move knight c3. After which he plays knight f6, and we may go to some Steinitz variations, which probably happens after the move e5. But in general, nowadays I like to go with the move bishop g5, which leads to a more open positions. After the move e5, knight fd7, f. After the move f4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. There are tons of variations there. Black can play several setups, after which I need to know some sort of a theory. After the move bishop g5, maybe also, but the position is more likely to be opened. After d4, it happens because we exchange the central pawns, so with the open d file, we can fight for a space there. Knight bd7, knight f3, and the move h6. And then I played bishop f6. The other line is to take with the knight, knight f6, and play the move bishop e3. But bishop f6, I am more familiar with this move. I also played it once some months ago on Polish semifinals against another Polish player, Radosław Psyk. Uh, that's why probably Miłosz was prepared. Uh, well, knight xf6, bishop d3, knight d4, bishop e4, c5, and queen e2. So we are both still in the book. We are following the game Caruana Lupulescu and also above mentioned game Kosakowski Psyk. Queen a5 check, c3, bishop e7. And in this game on Polish semifinals, I played the move d5, after which Black didn't have any problems with equalizing the position. Although the engine says that the position is more or less likely heading to an equal position, but the long castle is an interesting way to deal with the position because we may expect opposite we may expect opposite castles. So if we see long and short castle in on both sides, we may expect a really dynamic play. But yeah, and also the pawn on a2 is hanging in many variations. But after queen takes a2, I think that black may expect sooner or later something like queen b5 check, or maybe even bishop b7 and queen b5. I am not sure now. Bishop b7 is losing because of queen a1 check and king c2, queen a4. We cover the b5 square, so bishop b7 next just leaves us without a piece. But queen b5 check and bishop d7, queen b7, it's looks looks dangerous for both sides because the queen is likely to give a check, the king is still in the center, but the position is dynamic, the position is open. I have a lot of space, so I think these factors are in my favor. But after long castle, he played the move c takes d4 and rook takes d4. Now I know during the game I wasn't that smart, but we are following the game Saric Nisipeanu from 2019. And after the bishop f6, I recalled a move like rook b4. It looks strange because it's not a typical place for the rook. But the idea is pretty simple. We want to target the b7 pawn, and we attack it twice. So that's why Milosz played rook b8, defending the pawn. And already there, I was out of the book. I had to think on my own, but you know, following the following the rule I realized some time ago. I just knew that I need to develop pieces without much hesitation. So that's why the move rook d1 looked the most promising and the most natural for me. But the move bishop d7 also was played by hand. So I was a little bit surprised because in the move number 12, I played only one game, which is the move d5. Long castle was a new move in my database, but my opponent was prepared anyway. So it shows that with uh, with many things that like databases, like courses, like also analyzing with engines, we can prepare long and complicated variations, which may lead to positions which might be really unpleasant for the opponent. I knew that bishop d7 might be with the idea of putting the bishop on a4 and making a short castle next, but I know that right now, if the bishop is on d7, the castle is impossible, thanks to the fact that the bishop on d7 is hanging. So that's why I played the move king b1, protecting the pawn and hoping that after bishop a4, I will play the move something like bishop c2 or b3. But already after the move, I realized that I don't like bishop c2 because this bishop is so strong. He can exchange it, this French bishop, play the castle, and without any problems, he's equalizing. I even calculate something like rook d7, rook d8, take, rook b7, but after queen a6 with double attack on the b7 and f1 square, I might be even losing. So bishop c2 I didn't like, so b3 probably is the only move I need to play. I am burning a lot of time, but the position is complicated. But also, I will show you that my process of calculation wasn't the best in the world because after b3, black played bishop d7. So black achieved something by losing a tempo, bishop a3, b3, bishop d7. Now this pawn on c3 is weakened. So if I don't prove it somehow that I get something for that loss of tempo, black probably make a castle, put the rook on c8, attack the pawn on c3. If I don't do anything special with such poorly placed rook on b4, I am probably dead lost. My first intention was to play the move queen d3, and I was happy because I calculated b3 move, bishop d7, queen d3, and of course castle is impossible thanks to the move queen d7. So black needs to defend it somehow. If he plays queen c7, then I have c4, and still this bishop has to be protected by, for example, playing queen d8. But anyway, I have a pressure along the c and d files. After the move rook d8, I calculated a line that I play rook b7, bishop c8, attacking this and this, but I have no move queen b5, rook d8, king d8, rook b5, bishop c3, king c2, bishop goes somewhere, rook a5, and I am attacking this pawn. And after a6, bishop d3, I have a pleasant endgame. After which I am maybe pawn up if nothing bad happens. Although now I see that king c7 move exists and bishop a6, king b6. So even this variation doesn't work. But the worst thing in all of this is that after queen d3, black can make a castle. Queen d7. Okay, Lee just doesn't respond. Oh, thank you. Rook bd8. And the rook on d1 is unprotected. and I can't defend it. And I realized this only after bishop d7. So when I played the move b3, I was sure, I was almost entirely sure that I will go queen d3. But then in a second I realized, oh my F God, there's a castle. So that's why I played the move after another 9 minutes of thinking. I played the move queen e3, which just defends the pawn, improves the position of my queen. But if I understood that I played b3 for no freaking reason, I was really upset. The b5 move, which has been played, is probably during the game it looked quite decent for me. I was also considering the move king e7 to develop the rook on d8 and hide the king on a safe square, but the move b5 mm, looks promising because well, now I'm not targeting the b7 pawn. This rook lost the c4 square. This rook doesn't have the d4 square. So if the queen c7 and a5 happens, I might just lose this rook. This poorly placed rook on b4 square. By playing queen e3, I saw the move b5. And at the first glance, I wanted to play the move queen f4 with the intention of rook c8. Then I play knight e5, centralizing the knight, putting the pressure on the bishop. And after such, with such circumstances, I am perfectly fine. Black still can't make a castle. My pieces are active, etc., etc. The rook bd4 in the air. Everything is perfect. But after queen f4, there's a move for rook d8. And the main difference is that after the move knight e5, queen c7, my knight is pinned, and my queen is unprotected. So I can't move the knight. Well, I can move it to d3. But after the exchanges bishop c3, I lose the rook. And when I saw this, that after the move b5, I can't even stop the move queen c7. Because the move queen c7 and a5. This is the threat. If queen c5, there might be even something like, um, I didn't really care about queen c5, but even maybe queen b6 is okay there. And the exchanges also, bishop c3 and a5 is the threat. So already after b5, I know that my calculation is the worst ever. My mood also went much worse than it was on the beginning of the game, and you can see that. Well, I'm also almost half an hour low on my clock. The one move I was also calculating is to play rook bd4 because this bishop is so annoying there, and the move queen f4 doesn't exist. That rook bd4 might look like the, I don't know, the one of the try, like the lesser evil is the lesser evil I can choose. And after taking the rook, bishop d4, queen d4, I didn't like the move castle. Again, there is a thing that after queen d7, rook bd8, I lose one of my heavy piece. So maybe I'm calculating 95, but after 95, just bishop e8, bishop c2 to transfer my queen and to give a checkmate. But there's even the move f6, queen e4, fe5, and nothing, nothing of this works. King f6, and I am again lost because my attack ended. So I realized that maybe I have to play the move b4, and after the queen moves, then I take the bishop on d7. But I didn't like the move queen b6, and again after queen d7, rook d8, again I am losing a heavy piece. And can you imagine that after the move b4, if my opponent plays queen b6, you won't maybe believe in that, but you can exchange queens first and then take the bishop on d7. And after maybe 20 minutes of thinking in this position, I realized that in the end of this variation I showed you previously, I had the move queen takes b6. After 20 minutes of thinking, I realized that I can exchange queens first. So it only tells that I was so unhappy with my shape in general. When I saw all of this, I played Rook d4, but was really angry on myself that I couldn't even spot such a single moves. Well, Rook d4 almost makes Black to play Bishop takes d4, because if they protect the bishop, Rook d7, Bishop c6, and I win a piece. So Bishop takes d4, Queen d4, Castle, and b4 happened. Uh, Now I knew that after Queen b6, I can take the Rook, but I burned so many and so much time. Before Queen a3 happened in the game, probably the most critical line and um, the most ambitious way to play for Black, because after the move Queen c7, Queen d7, Queen c3, I still might try to exchange queens by playing Queen d4, and the endgame with two pieces against the Rook maybe it's not like directly winning, but I have a great chances to push this position for a win. Milosz played the move Queen a3. I took the bishop on d7, and again after Queen c3 we have Queen d4. Rook b8 was also concerning me a little bit, but I think after knight e5 move and planting the knight on c6, which covers the b4 pawn and also puts the knight closer to the king, might be a might be a really good position to deal with this position. Sorry, twister tones, twister tones. But after Queen d7, the move a5 happened, and during the game, I thought that this is a great move. This is the great move which leads to an ending that happened in the game, because the move a5 is all about destroying the pawn structure next to my king, and also putting me under some pressure. Well, I thought that I have to defend this pawn somehow, because if I take the pawn on a5, there is the move b4 and b3. Black just wants to open the b5 for its pieces. So I opted for the move Queen d2 to defend these pawns and also tried to play Queen b2. Black played a b4. Because after Rook c8, I play Queen b2 anyway, because I am happy with exchanges queens. And I don't know what's the evaluation of this position, but again, I am two pieces against the Rook, so I can just press, and try. If I don't manage to win, okay, draw is a draw, uh, but at least I have some potential things to play against. I can target the b5 pawn. I can put the bishop on b3 in order to protect the a2 pawn. Rook b4, knight d4. I have an easy plan. Although if I put all of my pieces on the king side, black can transfer to the queen side and attack my g2, f2, and h2 pawns. So I am not saying that this is winning. Probably the position is, I know, maybe slightly better for white. But I can press. If I don't manage to press it all, it's a draw. So it's a normal result. But instead, black played 8 takes b4. And I thought that, maybe I just forgot that we play chess and not checkers. Because in checkers, capture is mandatory. So I captured c takes b4 because I thought this is the only legal move. But after the game, my friend told me that Queen b2 was an option, and I totally didn't even consider the move Queen b2. The thing is that again we want to exchange queens, so Queen b2, King b2 is almost the same which we had a look recently. And after the move Queen c3, Rook c1, really interesting idea. If we exchange queens, now Black has two pawns for 2 pawns and a rook against these two pieces. But these pawns are doubled, so sooner or later I will manage to take this b4 pawn. And yeah, I didn't see even this option. But I'm not even mad, because when I was in such shape when I couldn't calculate a single variation, a single correct variation, it told me that maybe it's even better to sometimes just rest a little bit and save the energy because the game ended in that way. C takes b4, rook bd8. Okay, I took the rook on d8. There was also an option to play the move bishop d3, but I didn't like bishop d3. Like, okay, it's not that I didn't like. I didn't even see the move bishop d3. I missed many moves there. I missed many moves in this game. I didn't see bishop d3, but even if I saw bishop d3, and when I realized that I have to defend like this in order to not lose the bishop, uh, undoing all my pieces, I would just say no, no, I don't want to go for like this. Black should be perfectly fine there. Also, they can target the b4 pawn sooner or later, and no, I just don't like it. So rook bd8, queen takes d8. Nice trick because if he recaptures the queen, there is a checkmate. Uh, Queen d8, queen b4 check, king a1, queen c3, king b1, queen b4. King c2, nice try because after taking the bishop, there is no perpetual, so I am winning. But of course, there's no need to taking the bishop. Queen c4. I can't enter the d file because the queen is lost. Now it's unprotected. So I play the king b1, and after queen b4, the position repeated the third time, and we agreed on a draw. So to be honest, when we briefly look on every factor which caused the position we see right now, I think I should be totally happy after the draw. Because the way I calculated variations, the way I assessed the positions after these variations, only showed me that something is not wrong. There, something is not wrong. The thing that I calculated the move b3 there and thought that after bishop d7 I have the move queen d3. And I was just about to play it, and I realized that black can just make a castle. It shows that I haven't played the level. I haven't played this game on the level of international master. I just didn't. I just didn't feel this strength in these moves. I didn't feel it. Although the position after queen e3 b5 was, as it turns out, decent uh, because yeah, after you can also check the analysis on the Sparuman channel because we also analyzed it in Polish language. So if you are eager to watch it, I invite you to the Milosz channel. And as you can realize there, the white's position there is okay there. But during the game, I didn't feel like it, especially if the move queen b6. It took me 20 minutes to realize that I am not losing there. It's insane, but such games also happen. So yeah, we made a draw. The total result is 5 out of 7, which means that I need to, if I want to fight for for the for the thing I came here to fight for, I just need to finish the tournament with the 2 wins. So of course, we are still in fight. We still don't give up. But now the task is quite difficult, but it doesn't mean it's impossible to do. So, guys, I think it's all from me. Thank you very much. Please join the Sparrowman's analysis because they will also appear on his channel. And see you on the next recaps. Bye bye.